Hey everyone, welcome to Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Today we're showing you how to use your TORQ 15 DA and why you'd want to choose this machine for any kind of polishing jobs. So let's get started. This blue Mazda has a ton of scratches and swirls, water spots, as well as bird dropping etchings, and it's giving this vehicle an awful look which is starting to mute the beautiful blue metallic flake. So today we're going to show you how to properly remove all that with two easy to use products as well as our TORQ 15 DA. Now DA stands for dual action, which means that it oscillates on two different axes, meaning that it rotates and then also rotates around that same axis. And this helps to disperse heat, preventing any kind of paint damage such as burning or marring, especially when you're brand new to polishing and learning how to hone your skills. Using a DA is a great way to not only achieve a beautiful shine, but you can also use this to apply your favorite coatings. The TORQ 15 DA is also one of my favorite machines because it has a 15mm throw. And this is going to cover a larger surface area on your larger panels, but it still has enough control on your smaller vehicles where you can still achieve a great result. So what that means is 15mm is how far that pad is throwing from side to side. And this is a great way to remove scratches and swirls on your large trucks and SUVs, trailers, but also it's great for maneuvering around hoods and flat panels on your smaller vehicles, such as this Mazda, which has a ton of those scratches and swirls, which we're going to show you how to remove today. To begin, I'm going to throw the cord over my shoulder, and this will prevent the cord from wrapping up against the side of the car where it could potentially scratch it or even dent the vehicle. And I've already centered our 5-inch orange Hex Logic quantum pad on the backing plate. This is what we're going to be using today to help diminish the product that we're going to remove those scratches and swirls with. But just a couple features to go over with the TORQ 15 DA. You already see that we have our backing plate fixed, and this has a vented backing plate which helps to reduce any kind of heat or excess buildup on the pad. This is going to help to prevent any kind of marring while also adding longevity to your pads. It's a very lightweight machine and also a very quiet machine, so whether you're working on a smaller vehicle or a larger vehicle, it's not going to give you that fatigue that you would get with a heavier machine. And it also has a very balanced motor which gives it no vibration, and it's also very quiet. Very simple to use. So you have an on-off switch here and then your speed select. What we're going to do today is start by applying our V36 cutting polish, which is going to again help to refine the clear coat by removing those scratches and swirls and really bring out the depth of this paint. Starting by shaking up the bottle. We're going to apply 5 dime-sized dots to the pad, and 1 dime-sized dot is about the size of 1 hex. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll also add pad conditioner to help moisten the pad. And this is again going to help prevent any kind of excess heat building up on the pad or the surface of the vehicle. And it's also going to give us the proper work time with the polish so that it's not dusting or drying out too quickly. We'll start by dabbing out the product in a 2-foot by 2-foot section, and I like to work from the center out. This way I'm not leaning across an area that I've already polished. And then on the lowest speed setting, we'll spread this out, and then on the highest speed setting, we're going to start breaking this down until it goes completely clear or translucent, where we'll come back with a clean microfiber towel and buff it off so we can check our work. And there you have it, guys. You see just how easy it is to use V36. It breaks down relatively quickly just by using 3 or 4 passes, and it's already basically gone clear. So we'll take a clean microfiber towel. In this case, we're using a green workhorse, which is great for your excess polishes, your quick detail sprays, or virtually any job. And just wipe away any of that excess so we can check our work. And already I can tell there's a lot of depth and restoration compared to the dull and grayed outside, which has a ton of those scratches and swirls. By using one product, V36, it's a great way to just minimize any kind of imperfections while also adding depth and gloss. And what this is doing is it removes just a very fine layer of that clear coat, and this is going to reveal that fresh layer of paint, again giving you that beautiful luster because it's removing those scratches and swirls. Now a couple things to keep in mind whenever using any kind of polisher is you want to keep the machine moving at all times, and also you want to make sure that the pad is moving at all times. So on a TORQ 15 DA you can watch the hashes or these vents. This will make sure that the pad is constantly spinning. Also, you want to make sure that that pad is completely flat up against the surface. What I recommend doing is using one hand to guide as well as apply a little bit of pressure, and then on your second hand, keep your thumb above the analog screen This will help you from dipping one side or the other. But what you're also watching and listening for is the tone change and the pad speed. You want to make sure that it's constantly moving. This way you're doing any kind of polishing job, removing those scratches and swirls. But also the tone, it shouldn't sound like it's completely bogged down, but it also shouldn't sound like it's at its highest speed either. So you want to be a nice medium in between those to make sure that you're getting the best results. And as you saw, we used a cross-hatching pattern just to make sure that we're not missing any areas causing any kind of tiger stripes. Using an arm speed of about 1 second, which means that you're moving from left to right or side to side at about 1 inch per second. And this is going to give you the proper results so that the V36 has the right amount of time to break down and give you the best results. So now that we've wiped off the V36, we're going to continue the same process on the rest of this hood, and then we'll switch pads as well as chemicals to jewel the paint and really bring out the shine. After finishing off with V36 on this half of the hood, we can already see that a lot of that depth has been restored because a lot of those scratches and swirls, the water spots, as well as the bird dropping etchings have been removed. And this is again because we've refined that very fine layer of clear coat, exposing a fresh new layer. And this is again going to give you that smooth finish. But to jewel even further and really bring out that metallic flake, we're going to refine the surface even further using a White Hex Logic Pad, which is a finishing pad. Again, this is for your final polishes or your light duty polishes, just to give you that final pass and give you the best clarity. And we're going to pair this with V38, which is part of the V line, and this is our final polish, which contains no cutting ability, but this is a great way to get rid of any kind of marring, or let's say you're working a little too fast and you got some tiger stripes. This is a great way to refine it and again give you the overall best finish. And you can use both of these products on any painted surfaces that are gloss, as well as any kind of clear or shiny surfaces to reveal a beautiful finish. And you can use it on any color. So a lot of guys have asked us, is this specific to any kind of color? No, you can use these on any gloss finishes. And since this car didn't have incredibly deep scratches and swirls, that's why we didn't start off with a heavy compound such as V34 or even V32. We did a test spot and found that V36 is a great combination to pair with V38 to reveal a beautiful finish. So once we finish off with V38, this is a part that's really crucial and a part that a lot of guys may even skip over, and that is the coating process. A lot of people ask us, is it necessary to apply a protective coating such as wax or a sealant, a glaze, or even a ceramic after you polish? And the answer is yes, because as I keep mentioning, when you're polishing, you're actually removing a very fine layer of that clear coat. And if it's exposed to the elements, not only is it going to clot with all kinds of fallout, but it's also going to get very dull and chalky because all that contamination starts to clot the surface, give you that really nasty look. So it's important to apply any kind of coating, whether it's ceramic or you can apply layers of glaze, sealant, and wax. What a glaze will do is fill in any kind of micro scratches and swirls. A sealant and a wax pairs very well together, giving you the synthetic layer of protection and the warm gloss of wax to give your car the ultimate finish, as well as protect the clear coat for as long as possible. And also, to start today's video, you saw that we washed and clayed this vehicle, and this prepared it for the polishing steps. And this is very crucial because if you leave the dirt on the surface, obviously as you polish, it's not only going to clot the pad, but it's also going to grind into the surface, causing marring and pigtails, and it's not going to give you the best result. As well as if you didn't clay bar the surface, it's going to pick up all the junk and contamination from the surface, and it's going to get stuck in your pads where it's going to fling it all over the vehicle, causing more micro damage. And it's also going to damage your pads, and it's not going to last as long as it could. Now, I know a lot of you guys have asked us what are the proper ways to polish a vehicle or the proper steps, and I hope that we've actually answered some of those questions today. Now, there's a few more things that we could also go into depth on, and that is body lines and also how to break up the vehicle in different sections. As you see, we have a 50-50 line here, not only to show you the huge transformation of the before and after, but also we're working in a smaller section to give ourselves the control that we would normally do to restore the shine. But also on body panels such as a hood where you have a lot of different intricate designs, this is a great way to give yourself the proper sections. So in the center here, this is obviously the flat, the easiest part to work on. But around body angles such as this, you can still use your 15 DA. What I would recommend doing is to roll over these kind of body lines, working in an up and down motion. You can still do the side to side, but you can just use the edges of the pad. And it's fine that the pad is riding on the edges here, or if it's not completely flat. Normally, you'd want to avoid doing this because the paint is very thin on the edges, but since you're using a DA, this is going to give you the best possible results without harming the surface. So guys, I've got this entire vehicle to finish off, but I'm glad I've got the TORQ 15DA because this is going to cover a lot of surface area. But in the meantime, you guys can check out all the products that you've seen us use today on our website, chemicalguys.com, or your local detail garage. If you like this video, if you learned something, or if you just like pressing buttons, give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to drop your comments down below for any future videos or anything you may have questions about, and we'll see you next time right here in the detail garage.